is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, OsakaJack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Into the Spotlight. This is your host, OsakaJack, and today I'm speaking with someone who you probably just heard finish, Mr. TechRat. Hello, sir.
Hello, Osaka. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How about you?
Doing good. Doing pretty good. Feeling a lot better now. I actually just got finished writing my article for next week's show, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, and I had to fight my way through quite a nasty bit of writer's block to do it. So I'm feeling very relieved right now.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For anyone who doesn't know, which would be really odd because he just finished.
That's right. That's right.
TechRat, why don't you describe to them what you do?
I make a fool of myself on a weekly basis.
Yes.
I am a writer. I guess you could call me an actor, kind of, sort of, maybe,
Okay.
on the Equestrian Inquirer, which is a weekly mock news show on Everfree Network.
Mock?
What?
Mock?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I reveal our big secret? Oh no, I wasn't supposed to say that, was I?
My heart is
We can cut that part out. We can cut that part
we'll
out.
Cut it out later. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll fix it in
yeah.
post.
Delivering the real news behind the world of Equestria. Of course it's real. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
I am on the show along with Joe Stevens and Truthy Trutho True and LTT Moose and Mason Alleycat and our video editor Battlefield Bro, and we just like to put together a lot of silly segments summarizing the spontaneous. Oh, I'm trying to alliterate here, and I'm not doing very well. But to cut it short, we write silly stories about ponies, and we try our best to be funny. We try our best to entertain, and like I said, we do it on a weekly basis, and we really hope that you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. Hopefully they did. I mean, most of my viewers are people that have just finished watching, so which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. That's cool with me. You know.
So you're relying on us to do a good job, because if people bail out during our show, they're not going to stick around for yours. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I am dependent on you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to up my game then. I'm gonna double down and make an extra effort just for you, man.
Yay!
That's what I'm gonna do. I'll be extra funny just for you.
Yay! That's
Yay. So.
Well, I know that Equestrian Inquirer, it's on episode 50 now, isn't that right? Or
51.
Just as of recording this, I think 50 have been aired.
51 actually have been aired.
Oh,
episode 51 just aired this past Wednesday.
That's right.
Believe it or not. Right. Yeah, 51 episodes. We have been doing this now, and that's 51 numbered episodes. There's still other episodes that we've done that have been episodes for conventions.
Yes.
Where we've summarized some of the interview work that we've done for those. So this has been going on now for over a year that we've been doing this show, which just completely blows my mind. Yes. I mean, it's 52, well, more than 52 weeks of shows. And I haven't been on it for the entire time. I joined around episode 8, but still that's like 41 episodes.
That's
for me,
still a lot, yeah,
and over 50 for Joe, and it's just it's amazing. It amazes me that we've gone this long. It amazes me that we haven't petered out and died a long time ago. But we just keep coming up with these ideas. We keep coming up with content, and and there's so much stuff in the show. There's so much inspiration. Yeah. It's easier when you have a new episode to base it off of.
True.
But but when you don't, to be able to go back through like the past 2 seasons and just there's just so many little things that you can key off of, and just find these little idiosyncrasies, these little oddities that strike you as funny, and you can build an entire article around that.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually a testament to the quality of the show that we're able to do that, and that we've been able to go on for this long.
Yeah. I would think so. Yeah, I mean, the attention to detail on the show itself is just astounding. And of course there are, some continuity errors and stuff. That's going to happen. That's, it's a kid's show at heart. So we'd love for it to be totally, everything is on purpose, but no, it doesn't happen all the time. We have occasional Cyclops ponies. Uh,
Exactly, exactly. And the more continuity errors there are, the more material we have to work with. So we're very happy that those show up.
exactly. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So,
Yeah. And let's see, I believe that even though this is we've done over 50 episodes, the
mhm.
print issue started a bit before that, didn't it?
It did. It did.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly, there were about 12 episodes, not 12 episodes, but 12 issues
Hmm.
in print
Okay.
before
More or
Joe went.
less. I mean, not
More or less,
technically,
yeah.
on paper, but written out.
Right, of course, of course. But yeah, there were 12 print issues, so we are up to issue 64, and we still do the print issue every week. So we do both the video and we do the print, and there's the content is different between the two, which is something a lot of people I don't think realize.
Oh
They,
yeah.
a lot of people think it was just going to be the same in both.
Hmm.
But one of our staff members, Truthy Truth Oh True, he only puts articles in the print issue. Um,
Oh, okay.
so that's something to know. And in a lot of cases, we add extra embellishment in the video
Hmm.
to articles that you may not see in the print issue. Like, for example, the recent episode, Sleepless in Ponyville.
Right.
I did my skit. It was about uh, Princess Luna invading your dreams and how that's an invasion of privacy and all that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and but in the video version, I would keep falling asleep and dreaming about the Olden Pony with the rusty horseshoe,
Hmm.
and that's something you don't get in the print issue. So a lot of people don't realize that you can pick up different content by looking at both.
Yeah.
And we encourage that. We encourage people to check them both out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. Be sure to check them out. I think that the print issue comes out on. Is it just the Equestrian Inquirer DeviantArt, or is it that?
It shows up in two places. One is
Okay.
the DeviantArt site. It's on DeviantArt under the Joe Stevens Inc.
Okay.
DeviantArt account.
Mhm.
And then also the print issue appears along with the video version on the Everfree Network site.
Ah, okay. So you
Hmm.
just click it right there.
Yep, and you can see it right there.
Very convenient. Now you started with episode 8, or the video episode 8. How did you
Yes.
get started in the show to begin with?
Well, I guess this has to take me back to how I got started in the fandom itself.
Okay. Do we need to
Because
do
I
the diddly doos with Wayne's World for
Doodaloo.
diddly? Okay.
Of course. And what it was that when I discovered the community around the show,
Hmm.
um, I knew it was something that I wanted to get involved in some fashion.
Yeah.
Because it was just so amazing that um, not only was the community so big, but it was also very welcoming.
Hmm.
I thought it was a great forum for people to just submit their ideas, no matter how big or small they were,
Hmm.
and to be able to not only entertain but receive feedback from them as well,
Mm.
and continue to improve and get better.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this is a great opportunity because I have some ideas that I've had, and I would love to share those ideas with other people, and I think this would be a great forum to do it. Initially, I used to write song parodies. That was
Okay.
something that was always a big passion of mine.
Right.
And I wrote song parodies, all my life. You know, I'd sit in the back of class in high school, and while the teacher's talking, I'd be like in the margins of my notebooks writing down song lyrics and things like that. Probably shouldn't have been doing that, but
Eh.
uh, but that was one of my things, one of my passions.
Mhm.
And right before I became a brony, um, which I guess was about it was like right before the lunar eclipse episode, so I guess it was around ends of September, beginning of October in 2011.
Okay.
I had just started trying to record my song parodies. I'd never done that before.
Oh.
I'd never actually tried to sing them and record them. I'd always just had them written down on paper, or
Right.
I had them posted on my college website, but I never tried singing them before.
Mhm.
So I started teaching myself Audacity,
Mhm.
and started experimenting with mic position and trying to get it to sound the best as I could. And I had recorded a couple of non-pony related parodies at that point.
Right.
And again, this was before I found the community. And then when I did find the community, I started getting inspired to write pony parodies.
Ah, okay.
Just because of my love of the show
Right.
and just the enthusiasm that I was seeing from the community.
Now,
So
pony parodies, would that be a pony song like Winter Wrap Up parodied, or a regular song ponified?
in this case, in the beginning, it was regular songs being ponified.
Okay, okay.
And the first one that I did was actually a parody to Green Day's American Idiot called Equestrian Idiot,
Okay.
which was all about Pinkie Pie.
Mm.
And I came up with this idea and I threw it together, and it was a very very basic effort. I was still learning how to do Audacity and everything, so it was kind of a slapdash, threw it together.
Right,
Um,
right.
and I'm like, well, let's see what happens. And I sent it to Equestria Daily, and they posted it.
Oh, wow.
And that was shocking to me that they did that. And I got some great feedback on it, and people were saying, oh, do more, do more. So I did another one, and they didn't post that one.
Ah.
And so I thought, oh, okay, well, that's it then. That's it, game over, I'm done.
Yeah.
But that's where I started, was with the parodies. And then right when I had finished the second parody, and I wasn't sure where to go from there, I found this post on Equestria Daily, the first one I found for the Equestria Inquirer. And I had always it wasn't just song parodies. I loved like writing like skits and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I used to be into the sci-fi convention scene.
Okay.
And I used to participate in some of the masquerade skits that they used to do. I used to be a big fan of those, and I had written a couple myself, which I never got to perform, but it was something I always wanted to try, like to perform my own stuff.
Right, right.
So when I saw that the Equestrian Inquirer, which I thought was hilarious, by the way, took freelance submissions, I said to myself, well, why not? I've written this kind of stuff before. Let's throw one out there and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So I sent it out to him, and he posted it.
Huh.
And I'm like, oh, that's great, and it's probably going to be the same as with my parodies. But he really liked it, and I thought, and I was getting good feedback about it as well, and people seemed to enjoy it, and they found it funny. So I sent him another one, and 2 weeks later he posted that one too, and it went on like that for like 3 or 4 issues.
Oh, wow.
And then one day I just sent him an email. I sent Joe Stevens an email, and I said, listen, I could do this on a weekly basis. Would you be interested at all in taking me on as a regular contributor? And up until that point, he was doing it all by himself.
Wow.
So he was, he was creating the print issue, and you've seen the print issues. I mean, they have images and everything that's laid out all nice and everything. He was putting that all together himself. Wow. And then like we said earlier, after like issue 12, he started doing the videos as well. And for the first 2 or 3, he was doing those by himself as well. So he was putting a lot of effort into this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, well, do you want some help? Because getting an article from me means one less article you have to write, and that helps you out a little bit. And he got back to me and he goes, I think your stuff's hysterical. I would love to have you on.
Oh, great.
So that's kind of where I got started on that. And so I started submitting regularly, and almost immediately he started bugging me about the video version. Like, you got to get on the video. Come on, you got to do something. And at that point, I hadn't revealed myself in the community, like my face yet.
Right, right.
And that's a huge step.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a really big step. I mean, when you think about it, not many people. Well, it's changed a lot now, but think back a year ago. Not many people had, I guess the courage. I don't know if courage is the right word, but to be able to, but to put their face out there, right. And say, this is me. This is what I like to do. Obviously, Joe Stevens is one of those people. I can think of a handful of others. Saber Spark, AC Russ Best, Dusty Cat. But it was a very small group of people, and I was, trepidatious. I was a little concerned, and I kept coming back to him. I said, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. I have I'm thinking about my family, and I'm thinking about other things. And, and I don't know. And he kept saying, try it. So finally, one day I figured, what the heck?
Yeah.
and I found a place in my bedroom.
Uh-huh.
I in front of the curtain in my on my bedroom window,
Uh-huh.
and I set up. I constructed a little camera stand out of cardboard, and I shoved my camera phone in there.
Nice.
So here I am dressing up in a suit, which in a sport coat that I don't think I had put on since I graduated college.
Yeah.
In fact, when I dug my sport coat out of the closet, I still had my college ID in the pocket.
Yeah.
So here I am in this musty old sport coat,
Hmm.
sitting in front of my bedroom window, talking about how they were making it illegal for Apple Bloom to whine because her whining was attracting timber wolves from Everfree Forest.
Hmm.
So that's where I started it all, and I sent it to him, and I was nervous as heck.
Oh, sure.
I was incredibly nervous about it
Yeah.
because to know that people will look at me and say, "Oh, that's what he looks like," and
Hmm.
that's him. And I came very close to emailing him and telling him don't show it.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I almost went back to him and said, "Don't do it. I've changed my mind. Please don't do it."
Hmm.
But I held it and I said, it's going to be all right.
Hmm.
And this is something that you've always wanted to do. You've always wanted to do sketch comedy. You've always wanted to write
Hmm.
skits and perform them.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
always wanted to be somewhat of an actor.
Hmm.
So just let it go and try it.
Yeah.
And it went over pretty well.
Yeah.
And people liked it, and I got a real great rush from doing it, and
Oh,
I
sure.
was really excited, and it was very fulfilling, and it
Hmm.
made me happy, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I can see myself doing this on a weekly basis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just kept doing it, and the
Well,
rest is history.
I know that I won't say specific names, but I know that there are quite a few people who do broadcast on a regular basis, myself included.
Hmm.
I'm not one who actively is I don't know, not brave is not the word I'm looking for, but I don't actively seek out attention.
Right.
And it's not in my nature to broadcast my voice like this. And yeah, the first few episodes I was, oh really, oh no, I don't want to really, okay,
It,
all right, I've worked on it, release it, fine.
yeah, it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
It's a really scary thing, but if it's something that you're passionate about, it's like you got to get over that hump.
Yep.
You got to get over that little voice inside you that says don't do it, don't do it, don't do
Hmm.
it.
Yep.
Because I'm a conflicted person. I like acting,
Hmm.
but I'm also a very sort of like private
Sure.
person as well. I'm kind of introverted, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of odd that people see me doing this and they're like, "This isn't you. This isn't what you should be doing."
Hmm.
Or not that, but this isn't what we would have expected you to be doing.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
So yeah, you got to fight that little voice inside you that says
Hmm.
no
Yeah.
to be able to really open yourself up and do something you're passionate about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, yeah, naturally I am more introverted, but my job pretty much precludes that from happening. I can't
Oh,
teach
that's true.
English one-on-one with a student and be shy about it.
That's right. That's right.
I have to be more open than the student is. Now, granted, this is Japan, so being less shy than your student is not difficult. But yeah, I mean, for a very long time, it was very difficult for me to open up to the students and start talking and being more friendly with them because I was shy about it. But
Right, right. And what was it for you that finally got you to be able to open up more and to interact more with your students?
I think it was just each time I would open a little bit more, the students would respond positively to it.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
um, it's and I noticed it too with a bunch of the other teachers that had just come in. I hate speaking like this because it sounds like I'm bragging, but I started at the same time as two other teachers, and after a month, I was doing wonderfully, and they were doing terribly.
Oh,
And I noticed that they were still rather shy about opening up to new ideas or speaking with the students frankly, and I was doing that more, and it was getting a very positive reaction. So,
yeah, that positive feedback is very, very important.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially if you have introverted tendencies,
Hmm.
because you get that one negative comment and you go right back into your show, like, oh no, I can't do this. But if you get that constant stream of positive energy, that encouragement,
Yeah.
it,
Even
it helps.
negative is not bad if it's constructive negative. You know,
True, that's
like,
true.
oh,
That's
you
true.
need to stop hitting your microphone with your hand. Oh, okay, didn't know that. Uh, I know
Right,
that
right.
my first interview, I was a little bit sick, but I thought that it would be totally fine. But
Hmm.
when I was going back in Audacity, there were so many sniffles I had to remove.
Oh, geez.
I had, oh, okay, edit this one out, edit this one out, edit this one. Oh my God. So I've tried to get much better about avoiding the microphone if I have to sniff.
But like you said, constructive criticism is fine because at least it's not tearing down your ability. It's trying to it's still positive in a way because it's still trying to it's encouraging you to do better.
Yes,
You
yes,
know, so
yes. As opposed to making themselves feel better by making you feel worse.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's that positive type of encouragement that introverts need
Yep.
to be able to do this kind of thing.
Yes.
Guys like us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That'll be a new movie. Not spies like us, just guys like us. Bunch of
guys
shy
like us.
people standing around. I don't want to talk to him. Do you want? I don't want to talk to him.
You go say something. I
Go
don't
ahead,
know,
man. You
man.
say I don't want to.
You can do it. You can
Come
do
on.
it.
Well, we touched on it very briefly, but one of the areas, and I have to admit, the area that I first really started to take a notice of you and Equestrian Inquirer was the Everfree Northwest coverage.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I had somewhat watched, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't honestly watch them every week,
Hmm.
and it was kind of like, oh, this is on, okay, we'll watch it, type situation. But with
Right.
different time zones, it's quite often difficult for me to watch any show on every network live because I
Right.
either have to get up early or I have to stay up really late.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. So fortunately, my show is I know it's I know my show is a little bit late for some of the people in America, but honestly, it's the only way I can be in the chat for my show and still get to work on time.
Right. Right.
But yeah, Everfree Northwest, I had made a point to watch, and you guys were doing a lot of on the floor interviews and different walkthroughs, and you guys did an amazing job with that. It was
Well,
very professional.
well, thank you very much. We do a very good job at faking that sort of thing, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fake
um,
professionalism is the best kind.
that absolutely, absolutely. You get into this mode,
Hmm.
and like I was saying before, to be somebody who has a tendency to be introverted, to come out and do this kind of thing is challenging enough.
Yeah.
But when suddenly you're in front of a camera and you know that it's live,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that there are a couple hundred people watching you on the stream,
Hmm.
it's like, well, how do you approach that? How can somebody who can be shy
Hmm.
possibly be able to put themselves out there and not just be absolutely terrified?
Yes.
And when I was driving to Bronycon, I was asking myself this question over and over and over again,
Hmm.
because Bronycon is where we did it first.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right. I
Uh,
did. Was it? Oh, okay. I was able to see a lot of Bronycon, but not quite as. You know what? I do completely apologize. Yes, the first time I noticed you was during the fire.
oh, okay.
The fire, yes. The Everfree Northwest coverage completely sealed the deal. I thought, okay, that's
All
it.
right.
These guys are total professionals. But yes, when I first started to notice you was during the fire at Bronycon.
Okay. Okay. That was a big deal for us because
Yeah.
nobody else was covering it at the time. There were no camera crews there. We were the camera crew.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's kind of an interesting story because we had just finished interviewing John Delancey.
Oh, okay.
We had somehow weaseled our way into the green room at BronyCon and were able to talk to him for about 10 minutes.
Nice.
And we're coming back out, and as we're walking into the convention center, everybody else is walking in the opposite direction.
Hmm.
And we're looking at each other, and John Delancey is walking in front of us, and nobody's saying anything to him.
Huh.
And you would think, somebody as prominent as him, people would be, trying to shake his hand, asking for an autograph, asking
Right,
for a
right.
picture. Everybody is just making a beeline to the front doors, and
Huh.
we're walking in the other direction. So we're walking towards whatever it is that all these people are trying to get away from. And we're looking at each other like, what's going on? And we get to the back and we start to smell something odd.
Oh no.
And people like the ceiling's on fire. And I look at Joe and I'm like, we got to get out of here. And Joe looks at me. He goes, no, put the camera down. We're filming this. And I said, are you insane? He goes, yes, I am. We're filming this. Get out your mic. So there we are. We're like as close to the rear door, the rear exit of the building as we possibly can without being actually outside. And here we are filming the fire. And we ended up getting a lot of positive feedback about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people were very appreciative that we had done that because it was really the only documentation of the fire that exists.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was watching the live stream, and I remember all of a sudden Peter New just looks up, and you see I saw like something fall down, and in the middle of a question, Peter New looks up and he goes, "Everyone, we need you to calmly stand up and evacuate the building." I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And the live stream just showed that picture as everybody left, and they were announcing, okay, there's a small fire, we need to leave, and it just kept going, but you didn't see anything.
Right. I think well, the interesting thing was that the camera well for the main stage was almost right beneath the light fixture that caught fire.
Wow.
So everybody had to clear out from there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they still had the camera rolling or if they turned the camera off. They probably turned it off.
They kept it rolling as long as they could, but I think once the fire people arrived, they had to turn it off. I think that's how it went. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, they had to vacate the building at some point. They kicked us out too after a couple of minutes. So,
I remember seeing that. Actually, they kicked you out and then had you move like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and that was all caught on camera as well.
Yeah, that was great.
So that was kind of interesting, but yeah, that was intense. That was the first time where we actually. I mean, you want to talk about faking to be professional news reporters? We were reporting on an actual news event.
Yeah.
That was completely not con related, and for being caught on the spot, people said that they really liked our coverage of it.
Oh yeah, you guys
did a good job.
Performed very, very well, very active. Yeah. At least as professional as cable news, and I would argue quite a bit more.
Well, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. But getting back to what I was talking about originally.
I apologize. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. With how does one approach that? Especially when you've never done it before. And for me, at least, there were 2 things that I had to force myself to do. The first one was I had to trust Joe, and I had never met him before Bronycon, we had talked a little bit over email, a little bit over Skype, but I really didn't get to know him that much until we got there that night before. So I really had to trust him, and he really had to trust me as well.
Yeah.
We both had to be certain that we weren't going to flake on each other or lock up. And the other thing I had to do was I had to lie to myself. And tell myself that I had done this before and that I was awesome at it.
I totally understand that. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that's how I got through, saying I just convincing myself that this is something I had always done. Because the moment I would start to question myself was the moment I would lock.
Yes, absolutely.
And it worked. And by about halfway through the convention, it started to come pretty natural.
Yeah.
And again, we were just doing it for fun. We were just doing it for kicks.
Yeah.
We weren't, making an effort to try to appear professional. We were just kind of being ourselves.
Yeah.
And but everybody said, "Oh wow, you guys are like the Brony version of CNN." And we're like, "Okay, we're glad you think so."
I think the irony on it is you guys were essentially a live news source at the time, and yet the entire point of Equestrian Inquirer was fake funny news.
Exactly, and to be silly.
It was this mock thing. I think a lot of people expected, I did at some point, expected you to be giving interviews to random people and pretending they were on the show, or just doing silly joke interviews, and you weren't. You were doing the actual interviews, and it was a great dichotomy.
It was, and we were trying to, inject some of the humor of the show into it as well.
Oh yes.
But like you said, it was mostly straight stuff.
Hmm.
And what was interesting is that a lot of people who got exposed to us at BronyCon,
Hmm.
that's what they expected us to be after the convention was over. So, we come back and suddenly we're back to our completely non-serious, silly,
Hmm.
personas again.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, well, what in the world is this? We were expecting real news. What's going on here? So that was an interesting experience as well. Like you said, the dichotomy of it
Hmm.
was very interesting, and we had to make it clear to everybody we're only serious people at cons. We're silly every other time.
Hmm. Yes, and even at
Yeah,
cons, just 30-40% serious.
30-40%. Yeah, 45% tops. So
Well,
um,
and changing gears a little bit, I know that
sure,
you have an aspect of your bronyism that not a lot of other bronies do, in that you have a daughter.
I do.
Hmm. Hmm.
I do. I'm actually, on the older side of the spectrum
Hmm.
for the brony community. I'm 36 years old.
Hey,
I have,
gotcha.
yeah. Oh wait, are you?
Yeah,
Wait a
that's
second. Really?
yes, I am. I don't
Well,
know why people are surprised by this. Yes,
no, no.
that is my age.
Not that I'm surprised that you are that age. I'm
Uh-huh.
surprised that we are the same age.
Ah, okay, okay, I see.
So, and it's actually interesting because then we also share an age with Mason Alley Cat,
Oh, okay.
who is also a family man.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not. And but I've been married for 13 years.
Hey,
I
congratulations.
have, thank you very much.
Mm.
I have a daughter who's 9,
Oh,
and she is easily as big of a pony fan as I am.
yay.
Yes,
Great.
I did not have to convert in any sense of the word.
Okay.
She she loves the show so much, and she has way more ponies than I do.
Ha! That I don't imagine there are a lot of families where father and daughter are competing to see who has the biggest pony swag.
No, no. Or when we go to the store and my daughter is asking for a pony, and I turn to my wife and I say, "Can I have one too?" And then she just gives me an odd look and rolls her eyes and shrugs, Um, but it's interesting because it gives us a place to connect.
Sure.
It gives us, amongst many other things, but it gives us something to talk about and to share.
Yeah.
We sit down and watch the episodes together when we can. We talk about the episodes all the time, and if we can't watch an episode together, my daughter will ask, "Oh, what was this episode about?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is the episode where Applejack has a family reunion." "Oh yeah, I was looking forward to that."
Mm,
It's great that we can, be on the same level with it
yes.
and enjoy it together. It's one aspect of it that I enjoy pretty much as I enjoy, the contributions that I make.
Oh, sure. I
So
would easily imagine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Mm. Have there been any disagreements between the two of you, such as who is best pony or best episode or?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, she's a big fan of Fluttershy, so
Okay.
we sort of agree there.
Okay.
Fluttershy and Trixie are sort of tied for my best pony.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to think. I can't say that we've had any actual disagreements. I've
Hmm.
never asked her what her favorite episode was.
Oh,
I'm gonna have
interesting.
to do that now because now I'm curious. Um, but yeah, I don't think we've ever had a disagreement as far as the show is concerned.
Great. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So, um, yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good.
Hmm. Does she tend to? Well, I know that a lot of fans, myself included,
Mhm.
like to overthink the show and try to get these theories on why things are. Does she ever attempt to do any of those, or is it just more of a surface enjoyment?
It's a bit more of a service enjoyment.
Which is
We
absolutely
haven't.
wonderful. I wish I could do
Oh
that.
yeah,
I really do.
yeah. It's like you look at it with a different set of eyes, and
Oh,
it's like
sure.
you can't help but analyze it.
Hmm.
But she's still at that phase where that innocent phase where she's enjoying it for what it is.
Oh,
Just face value, and it's I kind of envy that a little bit.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it's a much more pure experience that way.
Yeah.
um, where you just like I said, just enjoy it for what it is.
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
so
and even it, I would hope, but it's even very possible that 10 years down the road, she will rewatch the episodes and say, "Oh, you know what? I think I can see Nightmare Moon's face in the hourglass in the very beginning. Oh, this show is deeper than I thought it was."
yes, and then I'll have a seat with her and I'll say, hey, listen, we got a couple of things to talk about now.
So there's a fan theory about this star here. You see how it rotates in?
Yeah. Those two shooting stars in that one episode with
Yeah.
Applejack? Here, let me tell you what I heard about those.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to when those conversations come.
Yeah. Have any, and I guess it could be related to the two stars, have any somewhat more sensitive topics been breached by discussing the show? Such
Uh,
as the two stars could represent Applejack's parents?
that hasn't actually come up.
Okay.
Um,
Well, maybe
uh,
not that specifically, but any other more not uh, something we usually talk about, but any conversations like that have occurred?
um, we haven't. Again, she's at a point where she's really just enjoying it for what it is,
Hmm.
and we haven't really dug into some of the deeper meanings behind.
Okay.
Like where is Scootaloo's family?
Right.
Is she an orphan, or
Uh-huh.
where are Applejack's parents, or
Right.
things like that.
Mhm.
It's something I don't know if I'm ready to have those conversations with her yet or not.
Well, I don't know
'Cause-
that any parent is ready to have a lot of those conversations. I don't think. Okay, today we're gonna do it today. Yep.
yeah,
I think
no,
it's
that's
more of
true.
a okay. All right. Yes. Let's talk about that now. Okay.
I think I'm going to wait for the questions to come to me,
Okay.
and then I'll mitigate them to the best of my ability.
Well, a topic that is often approached in the show, bullying. I don't know if that has ever come up.
It's funny, but she loves the Bab Seed song, but we really didn't talk a whole lot about the meaning behind the episode.
Ah, okay, okay.
And she's experienced similar things in school,
Unfortunately,
and
a lot of,
uh,
if not every single student on Earth has.
yeah, it's so prevalent in school anymore. It's
Mhm.
it's almost a given that you're going to run into it at some point.
Which is a
Um,
shame.
it is, but and of course we try to help her out the best we can.
Hmm.
Just try to give her, just stay with your friends,
Yeah.
just ignore them the best you can,
Hmm.
and just try to, I went through it too,
Sure.
and I try to remember the advice that my parents gave me,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I try to pass that along, and
Yeah.
I doing the best that I can. I hope I'm doing a good job. Uh,
I
but
have in
yeah,
proxy spoken with your daughter, and I think she seems to be doing just fine. But
I think she's fairly well adjusted.
yeah, yeah.
So at least I hope so. We'll find out, in when we hit the teen years to see how much resentment
Well,
resides within her.
as a teacher who teaches ages 2 through 58, I can tell you there will be rough spots in the teen years.
Oh, I
This is
can.
not a maybe thing. This is a definite thing.
It's more a question of what the level is going to be,
Yes,
and what
yes.
is it going to be about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Nice. Oh. Well, something that's come up, well, not come up, but a project that you've been involved with recently is the FanBuilt engine. I like calling it engine just because you get the gears and the steam. I like calling it an engine, FanBuilt engine.
That yeah, that's a good way to think of it, actually.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the whole concept of it is that it provides a facility for people to communicate and get
Yes.
together
Hmm.
to create these awesome animated projects.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great idea because I think, especially in the Brony community, there's so many people out there who want to work on projects.
Yes.
So many people who say, I want to be a VA, or I want to
Hmm.
do, art, or I want to do animation.
Hmm.
Um, but they don't know who to talk um, to get involved in that.
Yeah.
And this gives them a place to start. This gives them a hub to communicate with.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think I know where you're going with this too, because the flagship project
Hmm.
that FanBuilt is sort of promoting right now
Hmm.
is a little thing that was actually conceived by none other than Joe Stevens
Hmm.
from the Equestrian Inquirer.
Yep.
Um, and it's a little show called Hell Hath No Hoagie,
Hmm.
which is a very unique name. I thought.
You do not often see alliteration with the letter H.
No,
And
no, no. You definitely do not. And
words aside, I mean, the words themselves are unique.
kind of unique and bizarre, and you'd
Hmm.
never fathom to see them together in a single title. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
But essentially, the way he likes to describe it is it's a show about nothing with demons.
Hmm.
Imagine if Kramer from Seinfeld was a Hell Knight.
Hmm.
Think of that concept, think of that approach, and it's sort of a fish out of water story
Right.
about four characters who have um, decided to leave hell and try to make their way in the human world,
Hmm. Hmm.
and all the trouble they get into as a result of that.
Yep.
Um, I am very peripherally involved, just sort of as a bit of a creative consultant
Hmm.
to a small extent. Just sometimes they'll ask me for advice, or I'll help out with script reviews or things like that.
Hmm.
Um, it's a tough
Wait,
situation
you
for
didn't
me.
draw the whole thing? What?
I
Why am I
drew the
talking to you?
logo. I
Oh,
drew
okay.
the
All right.
logo.
All right. All right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I actually that was my major contribution, is I drew the logo for the show. Uh, so and actually the character designs were created by LTT Moose,
Oh.
also from the Equestrian Inquirer, and I took his designs and put the logo together.
Oh, all right.
So at least I can say that. At least I can say that logo is mine until they change it, and then that's it. But
Well, I doubt that'll be that's it. I mean, come
no,
on.
I
No,
know.
nobody says, "Oh yeah, Lauren Faust isn't until season 2, and that's it."
Yeah, this is
Nobody
true. This
says
is
this.
that's very, very true. Um, but we've well, I should say that Joe has assembled quite a team of animators and voice actors. He's working with one of the creators of the Epic Time series. Epic
Okay.
Meal
Yeah.
Time,
Right.
not Epic Meal Time, but like Epic
Web
Pie
time.
Time and
Yeah.
Epic Wub Time.
Hmm.
Um, He's a lot of the animators who are currently working on the show
Hmm.
have also worked on the upcoming fan episode Double Rainbow.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
So there's a good amount of talent behind it,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, and there's already a sort of a voice storyboard has been released to just
Hmm.
kind of show where the episode is going to go,
Yeah, I've
which
seen the
is
animatic. It looks very nice.
Yes, yes, and we have some test animations out there as well, and some theme music. We have a couple of sound engineers working on the show, and
Hmm.
they're working on some actual original theme and background music for the show.
Hmm.
Um, so it's a really exciting project. I wish I could get more involved in it, but I can tell you one thing. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I'm looking forward to the finished
Oh yeah.
product.
Yeah, it looks really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I did find when I was watching the animatic, at the very end of it, it had oh at the very end it has some small animations, like walk cycles and
Yes,
different things. One of the things it has is one of the characters named Gore,
yes,
uh,
yes, or
and it was showing Gore in his walk cycle. But for me, I honestly, I apologize. I hadn't been paying full attention to his name at the time. And the first time I saw him, it said Gore Walk Cycle. And I thought that was his name.
A lot of people have been saying that about the Steve character too.
Okay, yeah, Steve Walk Cycle.
Steve Walkcycle. As a matter of fact, we've been talking about, like, in a future episode, possibly like sneaking in some kind of reference to that, like having the name Walkcycle on Steve's mailbox or something.
That would be
You know?
awesome. Because at first I was like, huh, it's the Walk Cycle. But later I was like, that'd be a great name. Yeah, Walk Cycle.
It fits in an odd way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I have no idea what they're going to do with that, but you are not the first person who has pointed that out.
Yay, I'm not original. Wait, oh, never mind.
Whoa, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So
no, definitely something to look forward to. The FanBuilt in general and the Hell Hath No Hoagie series.
Yes.
Should be paid attention to. If nothing
Yes.
else, you can say, I was there at the beginning, put on your hipster glasses, and go and have some coffee at whatever replaces Starbucks in 20 years.
I know that guy. I know the guy who did that thing. and they're looking to premiere the first episode sometime in the middle of next year. Oh. I don't want to give a specific date or a specific venue because I don't want to be wrong.
Right.
But that's currently the plan. So
wonderful.
Keep an eye out for that.
Well, a question that I ask all the time in every one of my interviews. I want to know, is there one scene or one line from My Little Pony that defines you as a brony?
You know, I knew you were going to ask this question.
Uh-huh.
And up until literally just now, I had no idea how I was going to answer it. But a scene has popped into my head.
Oh, goody.
And it's the scene at the end of Magic Duel.
Okay.
Where it's right at the very end, right after Trixie apologizes to Twilight. And she rears up on her hooves, all dramatic and such, and gallops away and face plants right on her face.
That was a good, both hooves splayed out 90-degree angle.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing about it is she gets right back up and she keeps on running.
Mm-hmm. Yep, doesn't even acknowledge it.
And doesn't even acknowledge it. It doesn't faze her at all. She just keeps on going with it. And thinking about it, I can kind of relate to that.
Okay, yeah.
Because, you know, there's a lot of times where, you know, I think, you know, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't go over well.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I faceplant. But, you know, to be able to just get up and keep on going like nothing happened. That's important.
Yep.
And it's not always easy. And it can be a struggle sometimes. You know, I've had, I mean, I'll be honest. There was one point where I actually considered giving it up. I had well, it's not that it was a bad experience, but there was one particular thing I did, which kind of had it didn't have a negative response, but I had gotten more negative feedback about it than anything else I had done. And it hurt. You know, it's tough to, because it wasn't constructive.
Right.
You know, and like we were talking about earlier, there's a distinction there. If it's constructive and people are saying it because they want you to improve, then that's a different story entirely. But this wasn't constructive. And I went to Joe and I said, I think I killed the show. And I don't know if you know, I mean, should I just go back to writing and not do the video anymore? And he said, you know, when I first started doing the video, people didn't like me very much either. A lot of people had, you know, negative, you know, comments. But that's not who you do it for.
Yeah.
You know, you mostly do it for yourself and for the enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
You know, and you do it to have fun. And he said, don't let, you know, one or two negative comments prevent you from doing something you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, just gloss over those and keep going at it. And he was very encouraging about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And me being like that introvert type who, immediately goes back into their shell as soon as somebody points their finger at me.
Right.
It was difficult, but I got up. I got up off that face plant and I kept running.
Good for
And
you.
I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I did because it's still one of the best things I think I have ever done in my life, and you know it's something that I am so glad I got involved in, and it's something that I wouldn't ever give up.
Absolutely. I would
So
agree.
yeah, yeah.
So that'll be our motto from now on. Faceplant, get up and move on.
That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. Trixie is a good role model now. She wasn't then. She is now.
Well, I think something that I really liked about that scene,
Hmm.
it was a very Japanese style apology in that it did not admit any error.
Yes,
She apologized. She said, I've done something horrible. You can forgive me, can't you? She never says, I'm sorry.
that's right. That's
She
right.
says, you can forgive me, can't you?
It's like saying I'm sorry that you feel bad.
Yes, exactly.
It's not actually apologizing for anything.
Yeah.
It's
But for Trixie, that's a huge step.
yes,
I
yeah,
think
because
if you would ask Trixie at that point, she would say, oh, yeah, I totally apologized and admitted all wrongdoing. Didn't I? Didn't I?
well, she in her mind she's apologizing. So
Yeah.
maybe she's taking steps internally, even if
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't appear that way on the outside.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
And I've had that happen to me a lot where somebody apologizes, I'm sorry that you felt bad about that, or I'm sorry the situation occurred.
yes.
Okay, what about your personal involvement? Could we get apology for that, please? But
I think we're all guilty about of that at one point or
oh yeah,
another, and
absolutely, sure,
and
sure.
it's tough. It's tough to admit when you're wrong.
Hmm.
It can be very hard to do that,
Yep.
and you got to watch that you don't fall into that trap.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know.
So always have a few smoke bombs ready,
Yes,
so you can prance in the air, throw them down, face plant, and move on.
and move on. That's exactly right.
Uh, well, are there any other projects that you'd like to plug while you're here?
um,
We covered
Geez, yeah,
builds.
there's nothing really specific. I just I kind of jump around, onto things whenever I guess the mood strikes me. I'm still putting together song parodies now and again. So
Recently, you can listen to TechRat's version of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," in which he
yes,
sang "You're a Mean One, Nightmare Moon."
Nightmare Moon. That's right. That's right. I actually did that for Dusty Cat's Christmas show.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's out there on my YouTube channel. You can go out there. What is my YouTube channel anyway? It's funny.
We'll link it at the bottom. We'll link it at the bottom.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Well, so yeah, if you follow me out there every once in a great while, you might see a new song parody pop out.
Hmm.
And I've still got a couple out there too. So yeah, yeah. If you like pony parodies, yeah, check it out. Check it out. I really appreciate it. And then otherwise, I just kind of pop in to various places. Sometimes I'll show up on Lunar Republic Takeover.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'll show up someplace else.
Like my show right here. Okay.
like right here and right now. That's exactly right. So just keep an eye out. I'll be around.
Yeah. Everyone, we have been talking with TechRat today. Be sure to tune in to Equestrian Inquirer, which is 1 hour before when my show started. Um, you can
Yes,
check out.
please do, and then stick around for OsakaJack show, please,
Yeah,
please.
that'd be
Don't
nice.
let us turn you off to Osaka's show,
Yeah,
please.
and vice versa. I mean, I doubt you can't go back in time, but you can plan
Well,
ahead
no.
for next week.
Mhm.
But yeah, follow his YouTube channel and Equestrian Inquirer and on Twitter. TechRat, thank
Yes.
you so much for coming by today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun.
Yay. Everyone, this has been Into the Spotlight with OsakaJack on Everfree Network. See you next time.